So when the Aristeo video dropped, there was a fair amount of interest. My chat was kind of doing the thing that it normally does during a premiere. You know, I don't have a massive subscriber base, so it was doing okay. It wasn't my best video. It wasn't my worst video. It's whatever, right? It's out there as evidence. It's pretty important. People have seen it. The people who have seen it think it's fucking disgusting. But what was happening at the time this premiere was going out was I got a message from somebody, and I'll try to pull this message up on the screen if I can. But what I think is worth noting is that the message content, basically what they said, was that I am not getting involved in your live chat because a certain person doesn't want any drama. And I thought to myself, child predatory behavior, grooming, physical assault on your fiance, this is drama? As far as I'm concerned, these are crimes. Apparently these are drama, according to this totally normal RP family. More on the totally normal RP family in a bit. Essentially what had happened was there was a person running their mouth, and Napoleon syndrome had kicked in times 10, maybe times 100, and somebody was essentially trying to prevent the conversation about the Aristeo premiere being talked about in a Discord server somewhere in the darkest fucking depths of Discord. For whatever reason, the person involved, who was, I guess, spearheading that roleplay family or whatever it is, the family, whatever they want to call it, for whatever reason, they didn't want to talk about it. They didn't want to, they wanted to pretend the Aristeo premiere was not even happening, which is interesting because this exact same group of people were the people that were actually in the video with Aristeo. I don't understand. I don't get it. There was also somebody by the name of She who was threatening to call the police on me because apparently I had recorded her without her permission. What I want to make her aware of is I made her aware that I was recording and she didn't say anything, so she consented to being recorded. So get fucked, I guess. This is fucking evidence of somebody being abused, and all you want to threaten is the fact that your privacy was violated. Let me tell you something. There is a woman that was violated. There were several children that were violated, all by this one man. And you expect me to sit idly by and let this happen, and all of a sudden I'm going to bend the knee and say, "Oh yes, yes, my queen, I will delete this because I recorded you without your permission," which, by the way, I fucking didn't, and I fucking never do. So in comes an individual by the name of Kylie. Now, there are a few allegations about whether or not this is a legitimate account, but I personally suspect that it is somebody else. And the reason why I say that I think it's somebody else is that this Kylie person never had any invested interest in the Aristeo stuff that was going on. It's later revealed that the individual called Golden, who apparently thinks that him being told about it is more important than them going to the fucking authorities. Okay, a little bit strange. Personally, I would value reporting this to CPS or the cops in replacement to explaining it to your, I guess, the quote-unquote leader of your RP family or whatever the fucking cursed shit is going on. But apparently, I digress, that was not of interest to Golden, and it was not of interest to Kylie. What was of interest to Kylie was the policing of the information about what was actually going on in this tight little group of people. By the way, the people in that family who were helping me in the video, I will be putting their Discords up at the moment so you can see the people that were involved, because there is a deeper reason why I think these people need to be put on blast for the kind of negative behavior that was caused last night that put a lot of people in distress and maybe even worse, but I'll go into that just here in a moment. So when Puppeteer joined the group chat, what essentially went down was Puppeteer was saying, "This is child's play, this is an expose video, what are you going to do about it?" You know, let's just gloss over the fact that actually in that video the police were notified twice. I don't have any information on whether or not CPS have been notified. They certainly haven't been notified by anybody that I work with, but probably that's going to be discussed later today or later in the week. And the reason for that is we're kind of piecing together what's going on. Some people are on break doing their own thing, and that's totally fine, you know, because what happened last night was dire fucking bollical. And the fact that some of these people are fully grown adults and the level of misjudgment that was caused as a result of these people and their cult of personality negative fucking behavior may have potentially caused a 15-year-old girl to commit suicide. Just drop that bombshell on you right now. What essentially happened, and this wasn't in the group chat, this was in a separate server, and this was after everything that went down. I was in a server, Godot was in a server, and the victim of Cody was in the server. Now, the victim of Cody, I've tried my best to keep their name anonymous, but what I will say is basically what went down was the miner got in contact with me about Cody, and that's why the Cody video exists, and we were able to uncover a little bit more about who Cody was as a person. I think one important thing to note is the child was in distress because we joined this server with these people in that were just part of this family. I don't know if it's a roleplay family. I'm gonna roll the fact that it's a totally normal RP family, because the cult of personality that just it's just like, I don't know how to explain it. This Golden guy or this Kylie person are almost like cult leaders. There's nothing really other than that I have to say. But what I will say is it's people who are, I guess all I'm going to say is it's people with autism, but the people who are less autistic are the ones kind of pulling the strings on the other kids with a little bit more of the old autism. That's kind of what it's giving me. And the fact that they're just taking advantage of each other's mental disabilities is fucking crazy to me. But it really shouldn't surprise anybody. So the miner was in total fucking disarray. And I said to her, I said, look, regardless of what happens, I am massively thankful that you got in contact with me and Ninja Godot about Cody, because we were able to put Cody on blast. Cody has not been able to make content without getting shit, and that is, I would say, a fucking job well done. Is he still running around? Is he still free? Yes, but his face, his name is out there, and what he did is out there, and so is his confession. I haven't seen anybody else do that. I'm not going to say that I'm involved with law enforcement or anything like that. I personally have never called the police, but the people that I work with within the United States jurisdiction will often call the police and will make several different phone calls. It was how we were able to get in contact with Human Azam. I don't make international phone calls. I'm not about to pay that ridiculous bill. But there are people who do call the cops on my behalf. I'm an investigative journalist, and I kind of run around and I find child predators, and then people interview them and I record it. Now, essentially, we were banned. Myself and Godot were banned from that server where the miner was. And we got in possession of some screenshots from the miner. Puppeteer Kylie said to the miner, "You deserved to be groomed because you were hanging around with groomers." Now, I want to make everybody fucking aware that if you've ever been groomed before, I've never been groomed, thank God, but I know that people who have been, if you're ever told it's your fault, I want you to tell the person that said that to you, I want you to tell them to fuck off, because if you were groomed, it's never your fault. It is never your fault. Now, from what I was made aware of in regards to the miner and Cody, Cody saying to her, "Oh, when you become of age, maybe we can date," something to that effect. I was notified almost fucking immediately about that. And it was bad. It was really bad, because I thought Cody was okay. I hadn't heard anything negative about Cody. I hadn't been on live streams with Cody, but I'd seen Cody on a couple of live streams, and he seemed fairly normal. Obviously, there was something very deeply fucking seated, and ever since I exposed Cody, there has been this very clear interest in me also doing the same with Aristeo, Aristeo being Alistair. Now, Aristeo Luna Garcia III, let's get it right. He is in the Aristeo confrontation, well, not confrontation, but the Aristeo video, physically assaulting his fiance, who every single other person in that VC has gone out of their way to fucking insult Cherry and say she deserves it, she's this, she's that. By the way, Puppeteer also said that. I said that she is somewhat culpable for her actions by putting her 5-month-old child in front of a child predator. I don't think anybody's going to sit there and say that, you know, there's not some agency there. Me and Godot suspect that she has absolutely nothing in the way of agency and nothing in the way of a skill set to even tell her that this is a bad situation to be in. She hasn't phoned the police. She hasn't done anything. I provided her with her link to a sort of resource center for single mothers who can kind of get out of wherever they are and do something about it. It's the 21st century. It's not 1935. There are facilities around for women to go and get help. And if you're not going to go and get help, then I have to wonder if you're okay with what is going on, or are you actually willing to do something about it? That's kind of the issue that I'm having. But at the moment, I do want to mention the 15-year-old girl. It's been less than 24 hours since this happened, so obviously anything can happen. But my prayers go out to them, because honestly, if this person has taken their own life as a result of somebody kind of really not giving a shit about the victims of child grooming, you know, I mean, what kind of fucking world do we live in at this point? I might sound dejected. I might sound really detached. I might sound just kind of down about the whole thing. Your faith in humanity kind of gets fucking obliterated talking to some of these people, because you talk to them and they give you like this fake persona of, oh, I care. Oh, Rev, thank you for helping us. Thank you for outing Cody. And it was like, there was none of that for Aristeo. And I think the thing with Aristeo is they just kind of, I don't know, they just fucking want Aristeo around because they think it's funny to bully him. There's been people like that before. Not naming any names, but it had something to do with a little old Spider-Man cosplayer that I covered a little while ago. They just maybe want this person around to kind of berate. He's just kind of a pincushion for their shit, their abuse, because he's a terrible fucking person. But if you're a person who is taking advantage of a terrible person and doing terrible things to a terrible person, how does that fucking make you any better? It really doesn't. And to threaten me with law enforcement because I was legally recording you, even though you were well aware that I was recording, and I had told literally everybody in there that I was recording, I don't think you can use that excuse. Sorry to say. You can try it though, but that's fine. But I do have some clips that I want to show you, so I'm going to move on and talk about those. So this first clip is an audio file that it was a voice message that I had received on Discord earlier this morning, and it was by somebody who was quite clearly just kind of confused about why the authorities had never been called on Aristeo and why kind of nothing thus far has been done about it. I am going to mask the person's voice as best as I can, because I just don't fucking trust these people not to say something nasty and do something nasty, because they genuinely are, from what I can tell, terrible fucking people who don't give a fuck about children and only really give a fuck about themselves. So let's listen to the voice message I received, and I'll talk about it after.
So I'm gonna send it as a voice note because I feel that it is easier rather than typing it. I'm watching I'm watching the video about, Alistair, and something that I clocked about the response that Shaden gave to you when you asked why has nobody called the police? Why haven't they? This is something I don't know if y'all had clocked. Maybe you did. I don't know. But he admitted that nobody like thinks about calling the cops or whatever, but they're the same people that admitted that they have files upon files on Alistair, but they did nothing about it. They could have called the cops at any point to get him in jail with all that information that they have on him, but they didn't. Why did they not do it? Why is there it just doesn't make sense to me that they say they had all these screenshots about Alistair, but they didn't take it to the police. Why not? That's a question that I have in my mind. I'm trying to wrap my head around that, and it's like it bothers me because they had the screenshots. They could have called the police at any point. They knew his address, I guess. So it's like, why didn't they call the cops? I wanted to bring that up because I don't know if you or Godot had noticed that at all in that. I just wanted to let you know, and I'm gonna forward this voice note to him as well to let him know what I had clocked, just in case.
I think upon listening to that voice note, it's very obvious that there are people who do actually give a shit. Now, obviously, for anonymity reasons, I'm not going to give you the identity of this person, nor was that what they actually sound like. But I think it's worth noting that some people have suggested to me that the reason why Aristeo and Cherry are kept around in that friend group is because they can extort Aristeo for money. Now, I don't know how true this is. I believe Aristeo and Cherry are both on SSI payments. As far as I'm aware, Aristeo takes SSI payments from Cherry. He doesn't actually let her have her own money. These are all allegations, I don't know, but judging by the fact that he actually physically abuses her, I don't really think this is going to be a surprise to literally anybody. So, in the aftermath of us meeting Puppeteer, or Kylie, what became very evident was there was a large contingency of people who were not really interested in Alistair's video. Kylie, for one, was calling it drama and trying to tell everybody to not get involved, and people were explicitly told not to get involved with my live chat. Now, we got invited to a server, and there were a couple people in there that a certain, I don't know if you guys know him, a certain Zexio has exposed in the past. We're going back like 3 years. So there was an individual in there called Dustin. Now, Persephone was in the server with myself, Godot, and a few other people who will remain anonymous. But I think it's worth noting that Persephone messaged me and said, "This Dustin guy sounds familiar." And I said, "What do you mean?" And she said, "Well, I'm pretty sure Zexio did a video on Dustin quite a long time ago." And I said, "Oh, really?" So I looked it up, and then I found it, and the title of the video is something along the lines of two men attempt to groom a 13-year-old. So I thought, oh, this is interesting. So Dustin was then confronted, this isn't recorded, he was confronted by myself, Persephone, and Godot, who were in that VC at the time. And we basically asked him, like, so are you the same person? He had confirmed he was the Dustin that was in the Zexio video. So I think it's worth mentioning that he came up with numerous excuses. I'm pretty sure his excuse roughly changed about 5 or 6 times. And one of his excuses was that he got hacked. And Godot said, well, can you show me the email? Show me the email that was hacked. He was incapable of providing any email from Discord about an attempted login from somewhere else. His second story, because yes, his story did change, was that his email was cloned. And then also his Discord account was cloned. That's story number 2. So first of all, we have I was hacked. Then we have I was cloned. So what was the third excuse that good old Dustin here had to say? he said that he was in the shower and he caught his roommate on his devices grooming a 13-year-old, to which Dustin apparently physically assaulted this person and kicked him out of his house. Now, when he was confronted about the fact that his story had changed numerous times, people were already aware that he was lying. So what Dustin did next is what you're about to see.
No, oh, no. I was going to make a 16-hour drive to Pablo. Don't think I won't do the same for you. Tell the truth.
Also, he lied about
Okay.
the time. You could tell on his phone it said 10:01.
It's 10:01.
I know about prime time being a pedophile.
Wait, no. It's
Oh
10:01, so he
God.
lives in no. It's 10:01, so he lives an hour ahead of me. Do you live in New York? Do you live in New York?
Yes.
You do? What?
He lives an hour ahead. He's in the New York area. Wherever he is
Not
along
necessarily,
the
there's
western
other places.
coastline, he lives over there.
It's over for you, Dustin.
Dustin.
Nope.
Okay, I'm committing
Dustin.
suicide.
I think I'm
Anyway.
done with this family.
Oh, shut up with
Oh,
the
don't
fake
start that.
suicide,
Don't
you piece
start
of
that,
shit.
bro. That's
Don't.
embarrassing.
Do
Nope.
not fucking
After
tell me
what
that you're gonna
ISIS
fucking
is
do
spirit-
something like that.
after
You fucking
what
little
we're
bitch. You
going
fucking
through,
understand me? You think
you're
that
really
fucking
gonna
shit's a
say that?
joke? You really fucking think that that's fucking funny?
So
The
then you
little
did.
girl that we have to. The little girl has more of a reason to. Not even more of a reason. She has more of a reason to feel the way that she does because she's a fucking victim. What the fuck are you talking about?
I got a present for you.
Ninja Gordo.
Stop saying the N-word. You're white.
Dude, you are so done. It took me 5 minutes to
Oh,
fucking...
I've seen
It's coming for you
a guy
guys.
do this before.
Don't you
Don't
fucking...
you
can get
fucking
out
do
there
it,
with this.
man.
You know what? If y'all want to leave, I'll sit here and watch.
I'm leaving the
Because at
server.
this point,
Don't
okay,
you
good for
fucking do this,
you.
man.
No,
I swear
because
to
if he's
God, I
gonna
will
do
block
it,
you so fast if you do this shit.
if he's gonna
I'm
do
leaving
it,
the
I'll
server.
watch. Good for you. Goodbye.
Dude, if you actually do it, we're not at fault for that.
We
No.
aren't.
I just want to let
because
you know. No.
It's your
My
fault.
father is the governor.
He's
Okay.
he's a
Oh,
governor.
Your
shut the
father's the
fuck
So
governor?
then,
up.
should we tell your father that you were talking to minors?
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh, I caught myself.
Oh well.
Hey, look, Nick.
Good for you.
Yes,
You made
look.
it wrong. You made a choice that doesn't bother us.
You fucking...
I'm
No.
leaving the
We're not-
server.
Bye bye.
I don't fucking...
Are you trying to guilt trip your way out of it, you bastard?
What the fuck?
At this point,
Uh-huh.
Now, is Dustin involved with this totally normal RP family? Well, I don't think so, but he was invited by people who were close to the RP family, so I think that's worth noting. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention was that the person that was helping him groom this child was none other than Mr. Stanley Bell, the same Stanley Bell that smeared himself in feces and sent the video to a child. So all I'm going to say really is if you know any of these people, probably just ask them, what the fuck is wrong with you? Genuinely, I don't have any other questions for them than that. What is wrong with you? Why would you say to somebody, mostly to Kylie, this one goes out to, why would you say something to a child along the lines of you deserved to be groomed because you hung around with groomers? It's just fucking unhinged. It's really just not a fucking normal thing that a normal person should ever fucking say to anybody else. Nevertheless, a fucking 15-year-old fucking child. I don't understand what kind of monster does that. And I seriously think that Kylie or Puppeteer, if anybody hurt you, I suggest you go and maybe fucking get therapy. Because talking this way to people is really kind of a sign that you have some underlying mental issues that probably need dealing with. It's really fucking petulant, really sad, and I hope that the child is okay. Really, I think a lot of you who sat by and allowed this kind of thing to be said to this child, you have a lot to fucking answer for. It's not okay, I don't give a shit how long you've been friends with this person. Whoever the fuck Kylie is, because I don't fucking think Kylie is a real person. I think it's Golden on an alt account or one of you other fucking morons on an alt account. I don't think it's an actual person because I haven't heard their voice yet and I haven't seen them involved in anything that we've been doing. So keep that in fucking mind. But the people involved, shame on you. Yeah, it is a terrible situation. Somebody's child today might not be here, and they're gonna have to walk in on them. So I just hope you keep that in your mind. I hope you go to bed, and I hope you just stare at the ceiling and think about the things that you did, and maybe wake up tomorrow as a better fucking human being, because this is abhorrent behavior. And even if you're on the internet and nobody knows who you are, you should still be expected to act accordingly, especially when it comes to children. So I'm gonna head out. This video is not normally what I would do, but I felt like people needed to really be put on blast and called out for the kind of shit that they say and do to children. Whether you're grooming a child, insulting a child, berating a child, and more importantly, telling a fucking child who is a grooming victim that they deserved to be groomed. I don't know. You need fucking help. That's all I'm going to say. You need help. Alright, I'm out. See you guys around.